Hi guys, ooh, where are you off to? Welcome to the channel of love. Okay, I've chosen the cards today. Let's have some coffee. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I'm shaking and quaking in my boots. I'm not sure what the energy's like. Is that what we're dealing with today? We're going to have a look into the fairies. I feel that energy so much this morning. So, well, let's start there. Although it is the afternoon now. Good afternoon. How are we all today? I hope we're well. So let's have a look, because I had a break yesterday from tapping into the collective energy. Well, I didn't have a break like off camera, but I didn't bring through any messages like publicly. So what went on? Well, I don't know. Let's have a look. A lot of things. Oh, the Ace of Summer. That's a nice card. It's the Ace of Cups. An offering of love. And then we have the Four of Winter. The energy come through about, okay, knowing that you want to offer love, but first, I just need to rest. And, okay, an offering of love, or this is a rest before the love. Not the calm before the storm, it's the rest before the love. And then we have the Princess Summer. Hey Christine, darling. Hello, beautiful. That's a pretty green. Thank you. It's interesting you say that, because I've just literally changed my shirt. Because the colour I was wearing, I don't think suits me. I think it made me look ill. And that's kind of something I use when I'm shopping. Like, I'll hold up colours, and if I look sick, and it's kind of like, I don't think that colour does me any justice. But this colour, it was like, I like the colour, but I don't think I can wear it. So I looked, and I'm just like, well, what can I wear? And I grabbed this shirt, which I think I've only ever wore once before. But if I'm honest with you, it's the only shirt that's ironed. Blouse. Yeah. So that's the deal with that. But thank you. I think it looks good, doesn't it? Hi, Apex. Wham! Bam! I am a man. You're very welcome. Well, thank you, darling. Okay. So we're tapping into these cards today, and it looks like there's an offering of love that's on its way. Just be patient, rest. There's some healing to be done. It won't be long. Button it up all the way, I can't. That's the only thing. I'm going to make sure not to bend over. Button it up all the way. It's not possible. There's no buttonholes. There's no buttons. Hi, Sarah. Okay. So let's get back to this reading. Although it's kind of similar colours. Similar. I was going to put a vest on underneath. I'm telling you about, because I noticed, I went to button it up and it's like, oh, there's no more buttons. But if I wear a vest underneath, which makes it a bit more comfortable, because then you can bend down and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to bend over now. But this is the vest. That's still on the floor. But the colours did not go. But I felt it was more like this blue. We're kind of like having a look at these, because there's blue in the middle here. Let's get on with this reading. I'll tidy that up in a bit. I wanted to get on and talk to you guys. Rather than changing my attire, because it doesn't fit the scene. I don't look too bad for an old chick though, do I? I mean, we could do a lineup, other people my age, do the comparison. I don't really know many people my age. I have nothing to compare it to, and I don't wish to. I'm just me. Growing old gracefully. Okay. The Ace of Summer. I need some glasses on. That's what happens with old age. Open your heart to love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship, or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. That's what we have to wait for. The awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. What's important is that your heart is open to love, like proper open. If you come on here with rude comments, Christine will deal with you. This is a channel of love. I'm here to deliver a collective reading to you guys, okay, to let you know kind of what the energy is in the air. If you're not really interested in that, and you come here to create toxic energy, air, we won't welcome you. It's not welcomed. You will be removed. So either enjoy the show or, you know, go elsewhere. So you have this resting period, the fall of winter. Set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, the need for more sleep or a vacation. This part here, you can make a decision later. There's nothing for you to do, Divine Feminine, apart from rest, take care of yourself. Loving at its best. Open your heart to love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. But it's like, in the meantime, rest, because there's an awakening taking place of psychic abilities and spiritual epiphanies. That's such a good title. The awakening of psychic abilities and spiritual epiphanies. Okay. Then we have the Prince of Summer. He's romantic, he's captivating, dramatic, flirtatious. All that come through this morning really loud was, I've had a wake-up call, a big one, and I need to tell you about it. Falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded, which you are doing. You're staying grounded here. The need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. There was another message that comes through as well. Well, I've had quite a few. But I'll let you know if it comes through. Rather than me sitting here trying to rack my brains. If you've got to rack your brains, then it's not ready, is it? Because it would just flow to you. So no more doing that. Okay. Solutions that come from meditation. Are you guys guided when it's time to meditate? I am. Normally I hear like the message. It's not like a voice. It's like words. It's feelings that you then translate. It's like I want to listen to like water sounds. And when actually it was more Tibetan drum sounds today. Healing sounds. There was birds, and if you listen, there's birds like in the background chirping away, and all these different sounds that you could hear. And that's when I go into my state of meditation. But I'm always called. It's like my soul, my spirit wishes to listen to and tap into that kind of music. I found the frequency that works for me. Okay. Right then. Let's see what the fairies want to say through the oracle cards. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. The B-52s. So if you see a painted sign on the side of the road that says, that's like divine signs. When you see a sign and it has like a deeper meaning, or it's just anything that's kind of odd, out of the ordinary. This is no ordinary love. No ordinary love. Sarah, I'm okay, darling. I'm absolutely fine. I am getting older and wiser, and I feel the youngest. No, I have like just so much energy and soul, so I don't feel old. We have the grey hairs. This is true. But I found that the more you love your vessel, because your vessel's here to experience this human experience, and if we allow the soul to do what it wants to do, oh, it's so refreshing. And I was thinking about this morning, about the ageing effect. Like, you can tell if someone looks quite worn out, or how life is treating them. And there's this awesome book, and it's called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. At the moment, we're reading The Angel Inside, which is a fable, and so is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. A great story regarding, he would have been like a lawyer who was in a courtroom and under so much stress that he collapsed. And I think he had a heart attack. But after that, he kind of went off scene. It explains what happens in the book. I'm not going to explain it to you. But then he comes back, and he goes back to meet his colleague in the law firm. And let's put it this way, he was unrecognisable. When he had gone away, but he has gone away to find the sages, to live with the sages. And when he came back, you can reverse the aging effect when you find peace within. Are you a nurse? No, I'm not a nurse. I feel I'm a healer. I was thinking about this as well today. And I'll tell you what triggered it. A colleague of mine, it's my day off work today, but a colleague of mine messaged me to ask if we'd done blue light discount. Now let me tell you what I believe blue light discount is. I'm not sure, but it's a card that people who work in the services, which I think are hospital workers, nurses, doctors, ambulance drivers, the emergency services, the fire brigade, the blue light services, I believe that's what it is. And I know that during COVID, they could get like 10% off of any purchases because to show respect for what they were doing during that time, to give them something extra. Well, there is still people that ask for this. Now, I worked in a supermarket at the time, which did take it for a while, and then when COVID kind of quietened down, we stopped taking it. So I understand what this is, this card. But I sat there thinking, okay, that's interesting, because what they do is a very important job, but what if you can kind of get to the person before the emergency services? So what if you managed to like talk to somebody just before maybe they were going to attempt to jump off of a bridge, which my daughter's had this experience. She was only 16, I should tell you this. She was only 16, she was having a bit of boy trouble, and she wanted to go out for a walk. It was late at night, like 10 o'clock at night. Now, I don't put fear into my children, and it's not an issue. If you want to go out for a walk at 10 o'clock at night, you have every right to, okay? I did at that age and younger. Who am I to tell her what to do? Anyway, I said to her, I'd rather you didn't. She said, Mum, I've just got to go out. I've just got to get some fresh air. I said, okay then. Well, I remember laying on the sofa and like bad toxic thoughts went through my mind, and it was like, I've got to nip that in the bud. stop being like a menace to your daughter. Because if you think about bad things, they're more than likely going to occur. It's like, I know she's under divine protection. She's my angel. Just allow her to do and trust. Well, she wasn't gone for that long. And when she came back, I said to her, "You're back quickly." She went to me, "You never guessed what happened." I said, "What?" She said, "Well, I was walking over like a motorway bridge that kind of went from one, we was in an area that was on one side of a dual carriageway, and she was walking over to the other side. And as she got there, she come across a, I think it's about 33-year-old gentleman who was hanging. He had climbed over and was hanging like this on the side where all the traffic is, with a bottle of beer. And my daughter walks past, and he actually, I believe, spoke to her first and said, "Are you all right?" And she went, "Yes, are you?" And he explained to her he was having a hard time. He had 3 children, a wife. He was having such a hard time, and he was ready to end it, and could, like, my daughter, like, call his wife to say that where he was and what was going on. So that kind of cry for help there. At this point, a lady went past on a bike over the bridge, and my daughter's quite upset, and she's kind of saying to this lady, "Please, can you help me? I don't know what to do." And the lady just shouted, like, "Call the police," and carried on riding. And the gentleman then started freaking out. "If you call the police, I'm going to jump, I'm going to jump." She said, "Okay, that's fine." She said, "Well, I'll call your wife." Her plan was to call the police and say, "Hello, is this so-and-so's wife? I have your husband here on the bridge." She said, "But I need you to come over so that I can have your phone, so I can find your wife's phone number." So she managed to get him over the railings. I believe the beer bottle were kind of gone. I think he had thrown that to the side, to the verge. Anyway, she got him over, got his phone, was just about to call the police when they turned up. The lady who went past on the bike must have done the right thing and called the police. And the police asked my daughter if she was okay. She explained what had happened. The gentleman was over. They were going to take the gentleman home. And she walked herself back home. Police said, "Would you like a lift home?" She said, "No, it's fine. I'll just walk home." So she told me this, and I'm like, what if I'd stopped her from going out? Well, I didn't. She received a commendation for that. We had a letter through the post with the officer that met her said about her maturity, and not only would he have, died, but the chaos it would have caused, blocking off roads and the clean-up and the trauma. And so, yeah, she went up. She was the only actual, what do you call it? What do you call us who are not of the service workers? Civilian. So on the night of the Commendation Awards, they were all officers, but my daughter was the only person, member of the public, at that age. And, yeah. So I'm not sure where I was going with that. Healers. How important is it that we can actually maybe get there before those service workers are needed? I had a gentleman come in the shop yesterday, and just by chance my colleague was in my shop and not up her shop. It's not my shop, but it is. It's my shop. It's where I work, and I work alone in there, so it's kind of like my shop. But a gentleman come in, and it was so funny because what come through was the wording of the old man in The Angel Inside. And he's walking around, and I said to him, "How are you today, sir?" And he was like, And I went, "And what is troubling you today? Would you like to tell me?" I could smell he'd been drinking. I didn't realise until he was like really up close to me. He was just talking about giving up on life. And I said to him, who's causing you to feel this way? Is it like a partner maybe that you have? And he went to me, no, I've been like single for 12 years. He was not English. So I had to try and just work out what he was saying. Very good English though, to understand. And I've been on my own for like 12 years. I said, do you feel maybe that might be the issue, is that, you know, maybe you don't want to be alone anymore. He said, I wish to just be able to have conversations like this, like what we are having. And I thought, I get that, because you can tell that maybe he's out on the streets drinking. I'm not going to judge him. I looked at my colleague who was looking for some trainers that he wanted, some shoes, and we didn't have the size, and he went, thank you. I said, you're more than welcome. I was like, take care of yourself. I spoke to him a little bit about like self-loving, and when he left, I said he didn't come in here for trainers. He came in here so I could have that chat with him. So, just interesting who you meet. Right, so let's go to the Oracle of Fairies. Wish wisely. So this is the card of wishes, you can see. I'm going to read this card here. Wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. The song that's coming through my mind is, I've never known a girl like you before. Ding, 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 ding. The Prince of Summer, which will be the Knight of Summer. This charmer may be a prince, but he is truly the king of romance. Utterly in love with love. I'm liking this. I'm liking this, man. The Ace of Cups. It's like he's grabbed hold of this. So I've got the cup, okay. I've got it. Now what are you going to do with it? Utterly in love with love. He can zoom in and have your heart fluttering in the blink of an eye. He is refined, artistic and introspective, as well as dreamy and possibly a bit melodramatic. A hopeless flirt. He will read you poetry while looking deep into your eyes. In his heart, he really is generous and quite tender-hearted. My kind of man. Generous and tender-hearted. His focus is on you and you alone until it isn't. And then, doesn't say then, it says, and therein lies the problem. He is the Prince of Summer, and oh, you'll be so happy for a time, maybe forever. And in brackets it says maybe. Just keep in mind that this prince is known for having a wandering eye, and he likes to spread happiness around, so be very cautious. The prince rides a magical dandelion under the light of the full moon. The dandelion indicates he can make wishes come true. However, the heart in his hand is made of glass, so handle with care. Okay, the additional meanings of this card: falling in love, a love of art and beauty, staying grounded during a very emotional experience, a trusted keeper of secrets. This masculine is afraid that you're going to break his heart. He has all the love in the world. Wish wisely. This is his wish coming true. He's just a little afraid of the future. Anxious. Anxiety. I don't know. Did I leave it out? Let's hope not. That's one of the most embarrassing things, isn't it? Oh my goodness, what if I didn't put my toys away? Hi, Zach. How are you doing today? Hi, Imran. Okay, wish wisely. It's an interesting song to sing in my head. I'm hearing the beginning bit where it goes, yeah, thorn in my side, that's all you ever were. Wish wisely, because I was actually thinking about, like, you are his wish come true. Everything that he's desired. I've never met a girl, I've never known a girl like this before. He's in love, but whatever he was attached to was like a thorn in his side, and that's all that partner ever was. Wish wisely. What is the wish dearest to your heart? The Fairy Queen of Wishes reminds you to use your wishes wisely and to take action to make your dreams come true. Do you feel worthy to receive your wish? Clear any spiritual obstacles you're aware of and prepare to receive. Wishing and manifesting are very similar. Start by simply writing your wish or wishes on a piece of paper. This is the first act of manifestation. As your pen touches the paper, you're starting to ground your wish into this earthly realm. Why am I taking to like a marriage certificate? For me, that's just a piece of paper. Okay. Then imagine what it would feel like if your wish is granted. Visualizing your wish will help to bring it into being. Sit quietly in meditation for a while, then say out loud, "Dear fairies, this is my wish." So there is something about a piece of paper like being void. I didn't really wish for this when I signed this agreement. You've just been a thorn in my side. Absolute nightmare. Thank you for the lessons. Goodbye. Into what you're actually really wishing for within a partnership. It's like you want to jump on that ship with a particular partner. It's like, who would you like to be, on a desert island with? So sit quietly in meditation for a while, then say out loud, "Dear fairies, this is my wish. Please help it to be. I am open for you to inspire me." When you wish in this way, you're co-creating with the fairies. Now be receptive to any signs or inspiration you receive over the coming days and weeks. So I keep seeing the wedding band, and I'm just wondering whether or not it's actually in this card. So I felt like either the bird will be holding it in his beak or in his claws. But Justin Timberlake, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. Be patient. First, it says in the song, first let me talk to her. So already decided, actually need to tell the person what your plans are. I plan on coming in and whisking you off of your feet. When you pull this card, it may be that you're about to receive a fairy gift, or you're being reminded to offer a gift to someone else. Perhaps it's their birthday or anniversary. Receiving a gift reminds someone that another person cares about them, and sometimes when we give a gift, we make a wish come true for that person. Of course, the highest form of giving is to do so without thoughts of receiving in return. Okay, let's see what the Rain Man. Dustin Hoffman's character in Rayman. Rayman. Was that a game back in the day called Rayman? Rainman. I took to the part where he could count how many toothpicks were on the floor. Past life relationship, you have known each other before. This is what the Epiphany is. Excuse me. Okay. So I'll speak about this because this was one of the conversations that one was having with oneself yesterday. And that's about with connections that have a divine purpose, like the divine masculine, divine feminine, and the energy and the healing that they can bring to our world. They've been through this connection for lifetimes. And how do we say this? How it feels right now, where there's an uncertainty whether you'll make it this lifetime, and whether you'll actually be together in union this lifetime. But we don't really, unless you have past life memories. I don't remember my past lives. I haven't been shown them. Egyptian days are coming through. I feel a draw to that era. I can't tell you that I've had a past life experience where I knew what occupation I had. I don't remember that. But that doesn't mean that your counterpart doesn't remember that, because I believe we have different gifts that open up at different times, and they're different so that as a whole we are complete. I mean, you're never going to get it done all this lifetime, experience it all. So you'll never get it done. So let's just stop, worrying about that. It's limitless. And then we're born into our next human experience, lifetime, and we come with amnesia. So I'm feeling I'm quite awake this lifetime, when I can kind of go back and look at myself as a child, the traits, attributes, maybe we should call them, that I've been given, to get through the life journey quite pleasantly. I mean, there's been unpleasant moments, but I've not really wanted to give up. I've not got depressed or down, so low. No, that's just not really in my being. So you've known each other before. I'm positive for this lifetime. And regardless of the outcome, I'm going to do my best to do as much clearing as I can to help myself in future lifetimes, to remember, to evolve the collective soul. You pass it on through the generations, okay? And our children will be born wiser. They already are wise, but because the parents and the environment is wiser, the programming will be more I don't know, it's a word beginning with S, but I don't know this word. It's like the programming will be more superior. Won't be so toxic, negative. We do the work. We do the work now. Okay, angel prayers. See, all I want you to do is be my love. So don't give away my love. So don't give away my love. Honour your feelings. Archangel Haniel. Thank you, Haniel, for honouring me. Thank you, Haniel, for supporting me as I honour my emotions and not deny them. It's become rather apparent to me as well that I'm meeting people in their later years, later than my own, 20 years maybe, on between 15 and 20 years on my age. No, between 10. At least 10 years older than me, that have a divine counterpart that they have acknowledged, and the other one has acknowledged as well, but they're both choosing to stay in toxic marriages. And I can see the results of that, especially on One of them's handling the situation better than the other, still in contact, even after best part of 30 years. Have quite a heartbreaking story, to the point where they did both leave their partners, and then the masculine was threatened by his mum that if he didn't go back to his wife, he'd be cut out of the will. So he went back to his wife. The feminine stayed single for a while and then went back to her husband, and it's not in a very good state of being. Very aggressive, very angry at the world. It's totally blocked out any form of love, kissing, affection, until I bring up her divine counterpart's name, or she brings him up, and I watch the girl glow. I watch the girl light up and look so young in front of me, but has no intentions of, too old to change anything. And because obviously he's still with his wife, I mean, he went through the stage of renewing his wedding vows, and I mean, this was years ago, but when he went back to her, and the feminine was just like left in misery. And I can talk to her about this stuff. She knows what I feel about these kind of connections, but she's given up hope on it. But this masculine's mum has just made her transition. The one thing that was holding him back, the fear of being written out of a will, is no longer relevant. And she told me she had spoke to him recently, and she read me the text messages. And it sounds very much like the catch-ups that divine feminines, divine masculines have. I mean, they want to tell them everything. The divine feminines want the divine masculine to be part of their life and to know what's going on. And now she doesn't really tell me that she messages him quite frequently, but when someone's reading the message out, and she said, okay, I'll be in touch in a few months' time. And I said, is it normally you that reaches out to him? And she went, yes. He has done a couple of times, but yes. I said, okay, that's interesting. And then, so she said, I'll be in touch in a few months' time. And she said, before you go, can I just ask you something? Do you still miss me? I said, you asked him that? She went, yeah. This woman who's just closed off to emotions, well, with her husband and her family, just with life. And I know that's the root cause of it. It's the root cause of a lot of people's problems. And he said, of course I do. There'll never be another connection like the one that we've experienced together. And for me, I said to her, I said, this is just a sad, sad situation. What the fuck's going on? Why are these people that should be together because they just light up each other's lives, the world? What is going on? So yeah, let's do it this lifetime. Okay. Honour your feelings. You're allowed to be emotional, and it's completely natural to express your emotions. The angels are encouraging you to acknowledge how you feel and express that in a positive and loving way. You are a sensitive soul, and probably more sensitive at this time, but this is great. When you express your emotions, you're expressing how much you care about a situation. And when you begin to acknowledge how you feel, you come into a deeper alignment with yourself. Your sensitivity is not a curse, but a gift from God. You are being encouraged to clear your emotions out by honouring how you feel and being honest with yourself. You will then be able to express who you truly are and will come into alignment with the gifts and talents you have to share with the world. Haniel is a goddess archangel of the moon. Her name means the grace of God, and she is powerful, and she's a powerful angelic force that helps us access our gifts and talents. She can help us unlock our empathic and intuitive abilities too, but in order for this to happen, we have to connect with the deepest emotions we're feeling now. Let Haniel support you in this and allow her moonlit aura to help you shine with grace. I'm going to go back and read about the past life relationship. The romance angel sent you this card to explain the relationship you've inquired about. You have some unfinished business in conjunction with a soulmate from a past lifetime. This may involve forgiving someone, a joint project, or learning personal lessons such as patience. Soulmates recognise each other instantly, and this feeling is often registered as a sense of romantic or sexual chemistry. The magnetism that draws two people together can surpass logic because the purpose of the relationship is healing and learning. Whether or not your soulmate becomes your life partner, you'll experience personal and spiritual lessons and growth as a result. Past life regressions can also help you uncover the answers you seek. Okay, right then. Let's get some daily guidance from your angels for this message. And then I'm going to read the angel inside. Hi Mariah, darling. Sorry I'm late. You're alright, darling. I'm quite early, am I? I don't. It feels like it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and it's starting to get light. Now I'm right where I wanna be, losing track of time. But I wish that it was still last night. When I go away, I'll miss you, and I will be thinking of you. So promise me you'll wait for me. Don't give away my love. Promise me you'll wait for me, 'cause I've been saving all my love for you. I can't get that one. Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the centre within your physical being, attuned most to love. It is safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart. With an open heart, as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. Divine Feminine, it's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart. End of. I've got 2 cards here. I'm holding my breath. Okay. Cleanse and detoxify. Toxic energy, it needs to be cleared. With great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. At your request, we'll help you to develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress. You could try by reading, I think it's by Robin Sharma, Robin Sharman, the monk who sold his Ferrari. Get yourself onto Amazon, have a look, get yourself a used copy, same words inside, get it delivered for a couple of pounds or a couple of bucks, whatever you guys deal with. Do yourself a favour. order maybe your first personal development book. Or actually, it might be so easy to go on YouTube and put The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Robin Sharma. Sharma. It might have an N on the end. I don't know where my copy is. I've loaned it to somebody. And listen if there's an audio. Someone else reading the story for you. I don't think it's one that I've read on my playlists. I'm not sure. I think I've read Sumo. I don't think I've read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I might have done. Anyway. Okay. At your request, we'll help you to develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways. Give your cares, worries and concerns to us, and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. I feel good. I knew that I would now. So good. So good. 'Cause I've got you. I feel nice. Blood sugar and spice. This card signifies the angel's recommendation that you eliminate chemicals and toxins from your body. Your sensitivity to drugs, food additives, including sugar, alcohol, caffeine and nicotine has increased. These substances are interfering with your ability to hear your angels, so they ask you to avoid them. The angels will gladly help you with stress or cravings if you will ask. Don't think you need to ask, because I was making my cup of coffee, it like knocked half a teaspoon of sugar off of my spoon. Okay, we can go down to 1.5 teaspoons. Use herbal means to cleanse, such as wheatgrass juice or psyllium seeds. Consult a holistic nutritionist. Call upon Archangel Raphael to reduce or eliminate cravings. Avoid toxic relationships or situations. Ask Archangel Michael to clear your body or home of any lower energies. Use gentle, earth-friendly cleaning supplies. We have one more card. A blessing in disguise. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. Okay, a blessing in disguise. That was the title of one of the videos a while back. The angel sent you this card to help you recognise the blessing in the midst of an apparent challenge. What you've appeared to have lost needed to fall away and will be replaced with something better. Have no fear for your future, but continue praying and following the guidance that comes to you through repetitive feelings, thoughts, visions and words. Additional meanings for this card: one door closes, another one opens. The how is up to God with respect to the best way to answer prayers. Release the need to control and predict the outcome of this situation. Trust. I said about predicting this lifetime, but regardless, we are evolving, we are growing, and we're feeling better. We're feeling good. I'm going to finish with a message from the Mother Mary. Protection, miracles and grace of the Holy Mother. The time is nearly... I'm not taking 2 cards. I want to read chapter 5 of The Angel Inside. The time is nearly 1444. I am the Messiah. I am the Messiah. I had a friend once that actually used to say that to me. There's another thing that was going through my mind today, I was remembering incidents where people have asked, because I was thinking about the gentleman yesterday and how he came into the shop to be soothed. It's 1444, which takes me to the 144,000 that they say. Well, I'm not really sure of the relevance of the number, what it's relevant about. I always feel like it's 144,000 light workers, and that's a decent amount of people, which I feel if it's, let's say, divine counterparts, that's 77,000 divine counterparts across our earth, raising the vibration of our planet. And there's a time that we're to awake and come together as a collective. You know, there's people out there doing it individually, but it's not having that earth impact, is it? So from all walks of life, one that I've seen actually lately, which I feel is a very divine connection, is Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. So, yeah. Let's get a card. Angels. Are you an angel? Well, if you are, you best, do what you're sent to do. I remember being in Italy, in Milan. It was our last night in Milan. And we were staying in all these nice... Well, we were travelling every 3 days around Italy. So my daughter, she wanted to stay in a hostel. And I'm thinking, we don't have to stay in a hostel. But she wanted the experience. I said, okay, the deal is, we'll stay in a hostel, but can we just get like a 2 single beds in a room? I don't really want to be in a dormitory like with 6, 8 other, beings. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, we only stayed there for 1 night because it's where we flew into and where we were flying out from. So we wasn't really going to go to sleep because we had a really early flight in the morning and so needed to really, be off at the airport for 4 o'clock. But we found like a rooftop terrace that had all these hammocks hanging. It was so lovely. You could help yourself to cereal and it's very relaxed. Tourist guides. It's right up Emily Street. It was well done. It had like a live band downstairs and it was good. It was a good setup. I've never stayed in a hostel before, so went out onto this rooftop terrace and I got chatting to a couple of guys who were sitting at a table, and I joined their table and was talking to them, and then a couple of women walked past and they knew the guys because they must have met them previously in the building, and it sounded like they were in the fashion industry. They were in Milan and they got chatting, but they asked me if they could pull up a chair and join the table. And I'm thinking, I'd join these guys. So we end up with a group of us, all talking. And we're talking about love and passion. And you got some skeptics that don't believe in love. And I don't know, the conversation just flew. But I could see over in the distance, there was a gentleman that was hovering closer and closer. And see, Emily at this point... it's like she's not sitting with us. She's like sitting on like a seat, like near the edge of the rooftop. So she's just behind me, sitting behind there, and we've got this group of people. And this gentleman's getting closer and closer, and she can see this happening. And in the end, he comes over, and he says, "I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but do you mind if I join your conversation, because it sounds like really interesting conversation? Do you mind if I join?" And this lady turned around and she said, "Only if you can tell us 2 things." She said, "What your name is and what your passion is, and then you can sit down and join us." So it was a nice little setup. He had quite a negative energy, which then turned everyone else off, and they started going, "Well, we're going to go now, to our room," and all gave me a cuddle goodbye. At one point, Emily's behind me. I turned around and she went to me, "You've done this. Look what you've done." Because wherever we go, I tend to draw, I don't know, attract energies. She went, "Look what you've done." I said, "I'm so sorry. We just went out there, just for a while." Well, it was meant to be. And then this gentleman comes and the conversation changes. It's like more of a deeper soul level talking. I mean, he was quite wounded regarding love. You get to the core of it, and he's been through an experience where he's been hurt or couldn't have the love that he desired. And he dropped to his knees. And he was like, who are you? Are you some kind of angel? My kid at this point is just like, Mum, I'm sorry. But have people said it to you? Who are you? Some kind of angel? Could you be? Oh, a substitute teacher? Why a substitute teacher? Why do I have to be a substitute? Can I not just be a teacher? A librarian? I'm just me. I don't have a title. This is it. This is the occupation. This is it. Hi, Bailey. Okay, still 2 messages. I'm just going to have a chat. Our Lady of the Sacred Son, S-O-N. You see what's going on with the Sacred Son. Afternoon from Sheffield. Whereabouts are you from? What's the steam about? Card number 15. My beloved Son, my Christ, lives in your hearts, for you are the sons and daughters of love. The Christ is a consciousness of love that belongs to every human soul and will awaken in those that are ready to receive it now through my grace. I ask you to realise that you carry this divine flame of love within. For you, my sons and daughters, it is time for a awakening. It's really important, this message. Your Nana does that? Nana, is she a very wise lady? The Christ is a consciousness of love that belongs to every human soul and will awaken in those that are ready to receive it now through my grace. I ask you to realise that you carry this divine flame of love within. For you, my sons and daughters, it is time for a divine awakening of sacred masculine energy within you now. Just as I birthed the Christ child through love, so too will you birth enlightened divine masculine energy through the love and power of the divine feminine now. This is your time for sacred birth. The divine Christ lives in the hearts of men and women as divine love and passionate service of the divine light, irrespective of religious persuasion. The divine light is in whatever form we believe it to be, whether that be Allah or God or Krishna or Shiva or the Guru or the universe or anything else for that matter, provided that it is love that you are serving. Then the Christ consciousness or unconditional divine wisdom, love and power that the Holy Mother seeks to awaken with us can live in you. Our Lady of the Sacred Son speaks to us of a healed masculine consciousness, of the Christ awakening in men and women, and this becomes possible through the love and power of the divine feminine awakened. The divine feminine holds a space for love, for acceptance of all beings, for truth and for compassion, so that a new masculinity can emerge in modern humanity. Healed masculine consciousness is what allows us to discern and make choices and to set boundaries. It allows us to say yes or no based on our own values, which are not blindly adopted from our family or society, but distilled from our own innermost feelings and heart wisdom. A healed divine masculine gives us the courage to live our own life and the strength that we need to honour our individuality in making choices that feel truthful for us. It enables us to understand that our divine gift of self is meant to be lived as authentically and honestly as possible. A healed divine masculine consciousness is freed from needing approval through popular opinion or being liked by fulfilling the expectations or conditions that others may seek to impose. A healed divine masculine consciousness is empowered to accept and honour the self, accepting one's sexuality, individuality, and particular self with all its quirks. It can do this because it understands that the divine lives in all beings, and no one is required to be the same as anyone else in order to be worthy of complete, unconditional, divine love. The divine consciousness of the Christ is willing to live truthfully, even when it ruffles, feathers, or shakes foundations. It understands that truth will be preserved, even through great transformation or upheaval of change. This consciousness is willing to live truthfully, even when that means letting go of lower vibrational relationship patterns that are based in fear and judgment, control, or power. We let go of these patterns in order to open up to new ways of relating, which are based in truth and acceptance, discernment, and freedom of choice. When we are entering more deeply into this higher consciousness, change happens. Sometimes this can be challenging as we are learning to let go of our fears and to trust without condition. Even if we are struggling, we must learn to focus on the light within and stay present. Sometimes that struggle is actually the ego letting go, and we are identifying with it. It can be very compelling and believable. Yet whilst that struggle is happening, the soul is gasping and taking in the holy breath of new life. And we are thriving spiritually, more infused with holy love and power than ever before. Our Lady of the Sacred Sun comes to us with several messages. Spiritually, you are maturing, and this may give rise to growing pains, but keep them in context and perspective. Pray to her to help so that your growing pains do not eclipse the magnificence and joy of the process that is actually happening for you at a far greater level. Psychologically and physically, you are asked to place some boundaries in your life. This may require you to say no to people, places, or things that drain you, or to protect yourself thoroughly through prayer and the following healing process each and every day for a few moments before venturing into such spaces. If you have been feeling a sense of love, a sense of guidance around you, without quite being able to identify who it is on a spiritual level, then this oracle comes as confirmation that it is the living Christ, in one form or another, who is guiding you now. Open your heart to unconditional love and know that you are protected and supported spiritually in all aspects of your life. Just remember to ask for help daily. You can start this now by doing the following short healing process, or even just the prayer of affirmation if you are very short on time, and learning to integrate it into a quick and effective daily routine. You'll reap the benefits of doing so, but it will take all the strength of your inner masculine consciousness to make the decision to commit to that practice for yourself and to adhere to it daily until it becomes a natural and habitual practice. We'll repeat that part. You'll reap the benefits of doing so, You can start this now by doing the following short healing process, or even just the prayer of affirmation if you are very short on time, and learning to integrate it into a quick and effective daily routine. You'll reap the benefits of doing so, but it will take all the strength of your inner masculine consciousness to make the decision to commit to that practice for yourself and to adhere to it daily until it becomes a natural and habitual practice. Let's finish with this healing process and affirmation. Start with this prayer. I call upon Our Lady of the Sacred Son, upon Mother Mary and the Christ, who love me unconditionally, and I ask for your healing support, guidance, and protection now. Thank you, and so be it. You see a beautiful woman in blue robes holding a child. The child is powerful, as is the mother. Together they radiate an unbreakable force of golden light, which repels anything that is not unconditional love. Visualize that you are the child now, being held by the beautiful woman in blue robes. A golden field of energy surrounds you, and you are completely safe. Feel the love and power of this, and in your own time, when ready, complete your healing with the following prayer of affirmation said aloud, if possible, 3 times. The powerful love generated by Mother Mary and the Christ lives in me. It radiates from me in complete divine strength, power, and protection, now and always. So be it. The powerful love generated by Mother Mary and the Christ lives in me. It radiates from me in complete divine strength, power, and protection, now and always. So be it. Why are you hurrying me? The powerful love generated by Mother Mary and the Christ lives in me. It radiates from me in complete divine strength, power, and protection, now and always. So be it. And we know what happens when we try to hurry someone. It's like they seem to take their time. Dark Destroyer, why don't you stand up and give me a whirl? Or a twirl? Or a whirl? Let me see what I'm dealing with. Or do you just like to hide behind your dark name? You do not scare me. You do not intimidate me. Ladybug. It is. Look, it says love bug. You tell him, Mariah. We shall destroy your darkness. Let's get on with reading this book. At my pace, please. Hi, hope you're all good today. I'm good today. The tribe's all good today. We don't want to think of anything to complain about because we're wiser than that. So, happy days. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days. Yeah. Collar. Let's have the Fonzie. Okay. What chapter are we on? Chapter 5. So, I'm not sure if you noticed, but on my community tab, when you check out the details of the channel, I shared with you some personal photos that I took of the statue of David in Florence back in 2018. I mean, I do wish I'd maybe taken a few more from some different angles, like from behind a bit more. I might have some more actually. I just grabbed them ones from an album that I have of Italy. But, I mean, there's loads that I didn't use. You know what it's like when you snap away and you choose your favourites. So I shared them with you. I thought you might find them interesting to have a look at after, listening to this book chapter by chapter. So we are on chapter 5, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't look like it's a long chapter. Pages are falling out of this. Look. It's all good. Chapter 5, and it's page number 50. A young Denzel Washington. This is how Dark Destroyer is describing himself. Okay. So, just take the pages out for now. I could do, to show you. Hymn sheets. I felt like they were hymn sheets. Okay, so chapter 5, your hand creates what your mind conceives. Our worlds are created through the synchronization of the creative brilliance of the mind and the diligent steadiness and skill of the hand. No, I don't normally recap from the last chapter, so I'm not going to do that. But it starts off with, not quite yet. There is one last lesson here before we leave. Do you remember what I said we would get to in a moment? Oh yeah, you said that sometimes Michelangelo would make a part of the body not look exactly like it should, right? Correct. Now look closely again at Il Gigante. What two parts of the body are out of proportion? Well, the head, obviously. Yes, and what else? Tom looked up and down the statue. He saw it. The hands. The head and the hands. Then he repeated it for emphasis, and because he was excited that he saw it. The head and the hands. That is it, Thomas. Now the important question. Why? That I have no idea of. Why? I will tell you. First, there was a practical reason why the head was so large. Michelangelo knew that the head of Il Gigante would be some 20 feet off the ground. Of course, the further away an object is, the smaller it appears. He made the head large to provide context so it could be seen in proper proportion to the rest of the body as people looked up from the foot of the statue. There is a lesson here, but not the most important one. It is that sometimes parts of your life must be bigger than others in order to bring balance. Many people believe that we should keep everything equal, but not if you want to excel. But there is an even more important lesson that Michelangelo taught us in sculpting the head and the hands larger than they should be. What's that? Tom asked. Did you know that Michelangelo was a writer as well, Thomas? No, but it doesn't surprise me. Indeed, he was very good. One thing Michelangelo wrote tells of his philosophy and gives us insight into why he made the hands and the head of Il Gigante larger than they should be. In one of his sonnets he wrote, "The marble not yet carved can hold the form of every thought the greatest artist has, and no conception ever comes to pass unless the hand obeys the intellect. Let me repeat that. The marble not yet carved can hold the form of every thought the greatest artist has, and no conception ever comes to pass unless the hand obeys the intellect." Do you understand this lesson? I guess that the head and the hands are both important. They have to work together. In its basic premise, that is correct. Michelangelo knew that our worlds and a statue are created through the synchronization of the creative brilliance of the mind and the diligent, steadfast, and skill of the hand. It is the bringing together of the power of the mind and the delicacy of the work of the hand. This is the 5th lesson and the final one here. You conceive your world in your mind and then create it with your hands. The old man looked at his watch. We must be going soon, so let me finish. Thomas, you have become anything, you can become anything you want in life. You can achieve whatever you desire, but you must make the connection between both the head and the hands. Do you know what I mean? Not really. Thomas, most people live in one or the other. They either conceive of amazing things, they dream, but it never goes beyond that. They live only in their minds. Still others do just the opposite. They are filled with action, but not action that is thought out well. It is movement that takes them nowhere. The secret is this. Let your mind conceive it, and then let your hands create it. True accomplishment requires both. The old man pointed at the statue before them and continued. As David stands facing his Goliath, he conceives in his mind what he wants to do. He sees the giant dead at his feet and his own army saved. But he had not trained by himself. But had he not trained by himself, slinging countless stones at trees and animals for years in obscurity, had he not been skilled enough to be able to make his hand obey his mind, the story would have ended much differently. Instead, he searches the ground and picks up 5 smooth stones. Yet he only needs 1 to slay the giant. This is because his hand was trained to accomplish what his mind had decided should take place. With 1 demonstration of skill, he launched a stone and set in motion his ascension to the throne. When the mind conceives something and the skilled hand makes it happen, you are well on your way to a powerful life. Thomas, this is the last lesson for you here. Take a good long look at David. He has been good to you today. Yes, he has. Come now, let's go. We must visit a friend of mine before we eat. We're eating? Yes, of course. You eat, don't you? We shall see my friend and teach you a few more lessons about sculpture and life. Then we eat. They started to walk out. Okay, here we go, said Tom. Guys, thank you. Thank you for joining me. Zach, beautiful piece of work. Have you ever visited Florence to see the Grand Piece? I kept going back. And I think Emily got a bit bored because because I had obviously read this book, so I knew to pay attention to like the muscles and the veins and just the detail. And I also have pictures of other like sculptures that were done, that was in the museum, and they're very interesting, but they're not like the David. They haven't got the attention to details. So I might share them as well on the community tab. I can only share 5 photos at a time. So, and there is actually still a write-up about David, the plaque that was by the David, that I took a picture of. So I'll share that to the community if you're interested. If you're interested in the statue of David and the other artwork. I was going to share some because there's paintings of like rising out of graves, and Cynthia, one of our tribe members, like at the moment she's kind of being drawn to chatting with the spirits, you know, graves. She's been drawn to graves, and it kind of come to mind. So I've got some other pictures that I can share with you. There must have been a reason why I've taken so many pictures throughout my lifetime, and they're to share with you guys at the right time. So, yeah, you get appreciation out of them. You know, all good. Okay, I go to the St. Louis Art Museum. I've seen the Van Gogh exhibit, Monet. I've seen a lot. Yeah. What picture is it the sunflowers that's in Amsterdam? I've seen that. I've seen the Mona Lisa in Paris. Yeah. Got a picture of in the background. It's interesting, isn't it? Okay. No, I haven't read that. James Redfield the Ninth Insights. No, I haven't. Okay, right. That's that then. Have yourself a beautiful day, guys. Oh, belly's rumbling. Maybe we're going to have something to eat after our lesson. Okay, take care. Much love. It's like I just cheersed. I clinked with my glasses. I'll catch up with all you guys soon. Take care, much love. Bye for now.